Todd Talks.
So you know the drill. Sitting there on a cold, dark winter day. You have no motivation sometimes. So you're sitting there in your warm, cozy bed, wrapped in a blanket, favorite sweatshirt on, sun's down low, days are short. You don't feel like doing anything. You don't feel like going to the gym. You don't feel like going for a walk. So what do you do? What do you do? So I want to talk about motivation in wintertime, because I know for sure I've struggled with this, and I think we all struggle with this. And I think the important message here is that you want to sometimes motivate yourself even though you don't feel like doing it. And you can do a lot of different things in the wintertime. A lot of different things. And I want to talk about some of those things. I just did a video today, sort of an example, an exercise, if you will, where I'm sitting at my computer, which I sit there quite frequently because that's my job. I do, graphic design and marketing, advertising, that sort of thing. So I sit a lot, and it's really important to get up and move your body, especially if you're sitting. Your hip flexors get tight, you're stagnant, and we're meant to move. And, sometimes it's easy to move. I'm pretty hyperactive, so I tend to want to go and do a lot of different projects and get up and go and things. But there are a lot of times, a lot of hours I spend sitting and, sitting at my desk. So it's important to get up and move. So what I did was I did a quick video to show, hey, I don't feel like it, but I got to get up. I have to change my shoes. I have to get a bunch of warm stuff on to go outside. They're all excuses, and it's a big, long storyline. But if you really think of it this way, I'm going to go move my body. I'm going to get outside in the outdoors and enjoy the beautiful sunshine that's there. Breathe in the fresh, clean, cool air. Because you know what? Cool, crisp air is actually really good for you. Assuming it's not too much of it. It doesn't irritate your bronchial passages and stuff, but it's really clean and clear. I get to spend time in nature. I get to hear the birds. Think of it in a positive light, in a mindset like that. And what I do is I break it up into chunks. I break it up into segments. So I make myself, I force myself, I encourage myself to get up. It's sort of a self-love thing. So I love myself enough to say, hey, come on, let's get up and go outside. So I encourage myself. How about that? Encourage myself instead of making myself. Encouraging myself to get up, to go down the hill for a walk. It's about a quarter mile down and then a quarter mile back. So at least a minimum of a half a mile's worth of work. So I break it up. So I go downhill and I take a nice relaxing walk, a Zen mindfulness walk, I guess I can call it. I'm mindful of my stepping, mindful of my breathing, mindful of what I'm looking at, mindful of what I'm thinking on the way down, breathing in through my nose, relaxing my body, just sort of being part of nature, being sort of still while moving gently. And then I turn around, and if you're able to, jog up gently up the hill or walk briskly up the hill. But even still, you don't have to do that. You can still just walk up the hill and you're getting some exercise. And there's the action or the energizing part, because I'm building up energy. I'm building up power and energy and excitement and all that kind of stuff when I go up the hill. So going down, relaxing, and then up, I'm working my heart, my cardiovascular system, my tendons, my ligaments, all that good stuff. Circulatory system, respiratory system, all of that stuff is being worked when you're going up the hill, right? Up the hill is a challenge. And see, there's a mental aspect to this too, because what did I say? I'm going up the hill. It's mental, right? You're going up the hill and you're encouraging yourself, pushing yourself to do something a little bit different in the wintertime. It's so easy when it's nice outside, and you may be listening and thinking, well, I have it pretty nice where I am and still not motivated. So this still would apply for people that just don't have the motivation. But I'm speaking to your classic cold weather New Englanders who struggle to want to move, want to do anything in the wintertime. Sometimes we just have to be the one that motivates us. Be your own drill sergeant. It's another way to look at it. But instead of doing it with violence and anger and frustration, which can be useful, I'll report on that later. But for the most part, use kindness, use self-love to motivate yourself to get up and go. So that's what I did today. And I can tell you, I didn't necessarily feel like going out in the 10-degree weather, But boy, once I got going and once I got back, I felt fabulous. Because not just because the biology was improved, which it is, the biology improves when you exercise. That's what it's for. It challenges your whole body, your whole system, all of your systems. So not just that, but I accomplished something. It's like a minimal task. I think total it took me 15 minutes to do the whole thing. And that's the key. So you have to think of things that you might want to try enjoying. And it's way easier than ever nowadays. You have YouTube, you've got social media, you've got literally no excuse to find some way of moving, some way of exercising, some way of pushing yourself nowadays. You could find yoga, Tai Chi, and Qigong, which is, in martial arts. I love that stuff. And I practice that several times a day. Make that a part of my daily regimen. It becomes a regular habit when I do that. But that's for me. Maybe you want to go out and join a tennis club, or maybe you want to join a gym. I've tried that too. Any way you go about it, about moving your body, is good. But you don't have to go through all that fancy schmancy stuff. I'm telling you, just a 5-10 minute walk. If you can do more, great. But even at a minimum, a 5-10 minute walk. Try a Tai Chi exercise. Try a Qigong exercise. Try the basics. Try the minimum. And see if it helps you feel better. But I'm telling you, and I promise you, it makes a big difference when you push yourself, when you lift yourself up by your own bootstraps, when you become your own training person or the person in charge, when you become your military leadership that pushes you along. It makes a big, big difference. I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with having a teacher or a master teacher or a yoga teacher, a Tai Chi teacher, any kind of teacher, right? To help motivate you along and move you along. There's nothing wrong with that. That helps you motivate, right? When you go to an exercise class, or when people come to my Zen flow classes and my Tai Chi classes and my martial arts classes, they're looking to me to guide them. And that's good. They're showing up. But what if you don't have that? That's when you have to tap into your own ability to do it yourself, to be your own leader. And that's what I'm getting at, is that in the winter, the answer is to don't think of it as a chore. Think of it as an act of self-love and self-kindness. That you say, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to push myself and motivate myself because I know I can do more. And that's exactly what you're going to set out to do. So don't be afraid several times a day, if you can, to just get up, do some jumping jacks, do some walking or running or jogging in place, do some yoga or Tai Chi moves, even if you don't know any. Just moving your body around and breathing deeply is very beneficial. Get outside. Find some kind of chore to do, something that moves your body, and do it gracefully, doing it willingly, doing it lovingly, with a good attitude, an attitude of gratitude, really, really pays off. So wherever you are, even if you're busy at work all day, you'll say you're busy. Well, there's no reason you can't stop and go take a walk. Go take a break. Go take a quick walk. I used to do that all the time when I worked in businesses. Is I'd go walk down the street, go grab a cup of coffee and come back. But I would do it mindfully, and I'd do it with energy. Don't just slump along. I'd go along and enjoy the walk and vigorously walk, taking in some nice, deep, fresh breaths. It can have a tremendous impact on your day, on your night, and your overall health and wellness. Because think of it this way, you could spend an entire month in the winter time complaining about how cold it is and how miserable you feel. Or you can say, every single day I'm going to find a way to move my body. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to take that 5-minute walk, or a 2-minute Tai Chi outside, or yoga inside on a nice warm rug, whatever it is you have to do. Imagine if you do that every single day. Where are you going to be at after a month? The outcome's going to be tremendously different. And you might be injured, you might be elderly, you might be in a position where you can't do a lot, and that's okay. You can still work with what you have. You can still do chair or seated yoga, or chair or seated tai chi, or chair or seated movement and meditation. Different things you can do. Be creative. Lifting one leg up and dropping it, lifting the other leg up and dropping it. Simple movements. Simple, simple, simple. But you have to be your commander. You have to be the one in charge. You have to be the boss. You have to be the one willing to make that happen. So I just want to give you a little bit of encouragement today to see if it's something I can encourage you to try to do. And I'll dare you and challenge you to just make that happen for at least a week. I'd say a month, but at least a week. No matter what. No ifs, ands, or buts. You just have to start today. Right after this talk, actually. Just get up and go. Go outside, take some nice deep breaths and some steps. Start with maybe a block, maybe walk up a little bit your street and down your street. Start there. But every single day, commit to it for at least a week and see how it changes how you feel. And that's how you change your motivation in the winter, by doing it yourself, by being the one that can do it because you know you can do it. And if you don't know you can do it, I'm telling you, you can do it. And that will change everything about how you feel just by taking those small steps. So give it a try and get back to me and let me know if you need any other tips or tricks or help or videos. I have all kinds of Tai Chi and Qigong and wellness videos that you can practice along with me if you think that'll help too. But do your best. And remember, you're in charge. You have this life in front of you. And all you have to do is make certain choices to go in a different direction.
Todd Talks.